Yes, we are. Yes, we are live.
Welcome to Verbal Assault. It's a podcast that we do. I'm back here in my home, back here in my podcast room after my 2-week hiatus of doing the podcast in various other rooms across the country.
Last week's thumbnail for the stream is like a quarter of the picture is your face, like zoomed in. Like YouTube gives you, when you upload a video, YouTube will take like the beginning, middle, and end and give you 3 options for a thumbnail, and every option just had you.
No.
Like none of them had the room.
No. Oh no, I need to go back and watch that video and see how much of my fucking face there is. Why are you laughing, Dave? What's going on?
I did something wrong.
He did something wrong. Listen to Dave, everybody. Dave, what did you do wrong?
I hit share, but from the wrong device.
Uh-oh.
So it made it go, what the hell do you want me to do with this?
That's what Mixer tells you? Man, that's awesome. That they say,
it's
what
a
the
bot.
hell?
Yeah, I've got a little
sure.
JavaScript going.
It didn't say that.
Yeah.
That was paraphrasing.
Verbal assault bot.
It pops up in Mandarin, so.
Okay. Well,
Didn't know you knew Mandarin.
while Dave is learning Mandarin so he can figure out what that
I
bot
learned it
said.
last Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't heard about it till now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patrick,
Yeah, what's up?
I guess you didn't drink too much last night because you're here.
Nope.
Cool. Proud of you.
Or last week.
It's the new standard you've set. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Feel good.
Yeah.
And Stephen, Space Coast Steve, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah. I had such a great time, and now I don't know what's going on in the world. Like, I just spent the last 30 minutes scrolling through Reddit trying to find anything that's happening in the world other than the shit that I follow, really closely. But I was thinking, maybe I could find something other than Elon Musk to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't. Actually, no, I did. There's like some
Other stuff.
There's like some monster mosquitoes in North Carolina. There's some kind of big wave over in Indonesia. I thought about bringing that up, but all you can really say is, man, that really sucks. I feel for those people.
That is about all we can say.
That's all you can say.
So let's knock it out in 4 seconds instead of 40.
Yeah.
You had a great time, huh?
Yeah. I don't know about you, but Keys are pretty cool.
Yeah, the Florida Keys. What a place. There's a reason people talk about them.
Yeah.
It was like a dream. It was like, I'm telling you, the drive down. Okay, we stopped in Key Largo to do the snorkeling.
For those that don't know, Key Largo is the first key or island that you come to.
In the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Right.
first key on the keychain.
And
The chain.
what was that? It's the first key on the keychain.
The keychain.
Okay, so we stopped in Key Largo to do the snorkeling, and that was like 3 o'clock. And so that lasted a couple hours.
Yeah.
Starting to drive back down through the Keys, going to our final destination of Key West. And it happened to just be timed perfectly with the sunset driving down. And
Like facing the sun, because the Keys go like southeast, and it just, this time of year, the sun sets like almost perfectly due west. It was 269.6 degrees. 270 degrees is west.
that's really...
And so it was like, it was like right off to the right, not like right in our eyeballs, although there were portions where it was, but it was really cool just driving down the Keys. It takes a long damn time once you get on the Keys to get to the end. It's a 2-hour drive.
But because it was timed perfectly with the sunset, like, if you can just really picture this, I don't know if anybody else has ever gotten to see something like this, but I hadn't until Monday. Driving down like a super straight highway on a bridge, elevated, looking down on land that is completely surrounded by water. I've never seen that before in my
Yeah.
entire life, and it was so freaking cool to see. And that's where we were going.
They
We
got
were,
a bridge called the 7 Mile Bridge, and that's just there's something really neat about driving on a bridge that's 7 miles long with water everywhere.
it fucked with my head a lot to have water on either side of me for so long while I was driving. And then coming back after, when we were going back to Cocoa Beach, we drove through the Everglades in the dark. We didn't see anything. It
Yeah.
was it was an odd adventure that we took, but I felt like, because I couldn't see, it was dark. I felt like I was still surrounded by water. It made me super uncomfortable. That I
Which probably wasn't wrong because a lot of the Everglades is like you see grass, but
Yeah.
if you were to try to step into it, you'd be probably up to your shins in water at least.
That doesn't sound like something I want to do.
No. And what was it? Becca said when we got on this road, like we were like, okay, well there's not really a way for us to drive into the Everglades and then take a roundabout way home. All we could do from US 1, basically 95, that sort of corridor, we could just go west until we had our fill and then turn back around and then just continue on the way we were. We're ideally you want to detour and then make a roundabout way, but still end up further along in your path, right? So Becca was like, well, if I get scared, that's when we'll turn around. And then what happened?
And then I got scared because we were just, this is so fucking ridiculous.
It was weird.
We were driving down this road in the Everglades, and there wasn't much traffic. There weren't very many people, but it was a really long stretch of straight road, and there was a lot of passing opportunities. And so I was going very slow. It was speed limit 55. I was going 40, 45, so that I didn't feel like I was going to accidentally veer off into this fucking swamp and we'd all get killed. So
Well, you were worried about the alligators too. You were worried about an alligator crossing the road. Yeah.
And I had a rental car, so I didn't want to fuck up an alligator in a rental car. They probably don't have insurance. So we're driving down this road. People are passing me, and eventually it's like there's nobody behind us at all. And then all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, like literally out of nowhere, there's this truck behind us with like two construction-y looking yellow lights and one headlight out. And
the other headlight was like half lit anyway. Like one was out, the other was half lit, and then it had like some like those little yellow lights that like will line like a semi truck, like at the top or on the sides. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You could see the shape of the truck. But then
we saw the shape of the truck. We distinguished that it was a construction vehicle of some kind. But it followed us for a long time, going the exact same speed as me.
Many opportunities to pass.
Yeah, and then everybody was we were just joking. I think I was probably actually freaked out, and they were probably just fucking with me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I always assume that nothing is that far out of the ordinary. Even if you do have a weird construction truck behind you, chances are it's not a serial killer. It's probably, especially with all the construction that was going on this road.
right, but he didn't stop at any of the places, and that's what we were expecting.
You can't be a construction worker and a serial killer.
Well, I guess they need access to a truck.
You'll find out at the end of this story if we ever get there.
If we made it out alive.
Choose your own adventure. Okay, so eventually I'm like, why is this fucking truck doing this? It was starting to really fuck with my head. So we found this pull off. Did you find it on the map, or did we just see it?
Yeah, there was something coming up. It was like a little I think it was an airboat ride place that was just on the side of the highway.
Okay, yeah. And so it was a pull off, and I immediately pulled into it, and then I was trying to turn and find a parking space or something, and it was freaking me out because I couldn't see anything on either side of me. So I just pulled straight forward, and he pulls in to the same spot. And then just slowly backs up, turns around, and goes back where he came from. And so that's when we turned around.
Yeah. That said, are you scared now?
I got scared. Also, we got out of the car, and we got attacked by mosquitoes. really quickly. So Stevis.
Where was that deet?
Yeah, I didn't have it. I didn't have anything like that. I don't know why we didn't think to bring it.
Well, he taught us how to get back into a car.
When you're being swarmed by mosquitoes.
What?
When you're being swarmed by mosquitoes.
Yeah, he was like, first you want to take off running really fast.
Away from the car, yeah. And then, yeah.
And then you run back really fast to the car and open the door and jump in real fast and shut the door. And then we turn the car off and turn everything off and get total silence. Then we listen for them in the car.
Yeah, you got to see if they're in there. Because you can, if there's more than just like one or two, you can hear them in your car, you know.
Yeah, you can. We did. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't hear it. We gave it a healthy prognosis and continued down the road. And then, no, I don't think we even pulled out. And then you saw one, I don't know, and you killed it. But it worked. I mean, because we were already being clouded. And I learned this out at Mosquito Lagoon because I was just completely swarmed. I've never seen so many. And I'm like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lure them away from the car.
Oh, yeah, you walk and then you run.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to run from the car, but you need to lure them away from the car and then run faster than a mosquito can fly.
Well, they don't immediately change trajectory like when you do. They have to like take a second to buzz their fucking head around and figure out where he went. So you have a head start on them anyway.
Exactly. And then hop in, shut that door as quick as you can.
And then turn everything off and listen for him. It's the perfect formula.
So you guys did not get bit at all?
No, several bites.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I only got one, but
So
I'm
this
type O
is
positive.
just
So.
to get them not in your car.
Yeah, it was all about getting them. Yeah.
The biting. You're going to get bit.
Yeah, well, what we decided on was we're going to get out, look at the stars because we're away from the city, you know, and then as soon as we start hearing them around us, then that's our cue to leave. And it was enough. Like, you know, we were able to look at the stars and, you know, take it in, and then they started buzzing.
And we laid on the road.
We did
too.
get to lay on the road. It was in a park.
It was off of the road. No. We walked back out and didn't we?
No, it was just on the road. Or it was just, like, it was the road that led into this park.
Well, Brad was
That
saying,
doesn't count.
Brad said you could see people coming. Brad reassured me that we would see the cars coming, so we had to have been on something that cars were driving on.
Well, yeah, we were parked. It was on asphalt, but it was still like a parking lot, kind of like, hey, go this way to the boat ramp, go this way to the park, go this way to the pavilion or whatever.
That doesn't count. There's no risk involved there. It's just,
There was a construction truck right behind us. There was a risk involved.
It was Bekah's first time. You gotta go easy. But she actually did offer, I think, whenever we were leaving the mosquito place, she was like, hey, do you want to lay down the road? I'm like, maybe not right here, because we'd already drawn the mosquitoes towards us.
That's true. That is true. So, unfortunately, I did not see like one single alligator this time. I was there for 2 weeks, and I didn't see one single goddamn alligator.
You should get your money back.
I should. So,
they're stealthy alligators, you know.
yeah, well, yesterday when I was driving back to Orlando to catch my flight, I was a little early, and so I thought, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop anywhere that looks like it would make sense. I'm going to stop and see if I can find just one fucking alligator. I just want to see one.
And then one had a seat right next to you, didn't it?
Then one was flying my airplane.
This guy had a suitcase made out of alligator skin, so I figured that counted.
So I find myself 2 minutes away from the Sanford airport, and I had no clue how I got there so fast. It was supposed to take an hour and 20 minutes, and I got there in like 45 minutes. I don't know how. I was not speeding. It doesn't make any sense. So I get there, and I'm like, well, fuck, I have 3 hours before my flight. I am not going and sitting in that fucking airport for 3 hours. So I pull into the gas station, and I see a sign right in front of me that says Jessup Lake Wildlife Management or Wildlife Conservation or something. Mm-hmm. I said, well, that sounds like a place I might see an alligator. So I got gas in my car. I looked up that place on my phone. It said on their website, bright big red letters, it said, we are closed currently due to high water levels. We'll let you know as soon as we're back open. I said, this isn't true. So I drove out there.
What?
It's just not true.
Warning, warning, stay away. You're lying.
No, the water looks fine.
Tornado sighted. Stay away.
Lies.
You guys are always doing that ever since that fucking Hawaii thing. You don't mean it.
Okay, well, I was right. It was open, and I was the only car there. And
Because everybody listened to the website.
Yeah.
well, but I was the only car there, but I was not the only person. So I park in the parking lot. I see that there's like a little boat launch into this rivery-looking water lake place, and there's a bunch of green stuff. You know,
Wow, we're being specific. There's a bunch of lake water and then green stuff. Might be some fancy things. And, I don't know. Like it's like asphalty with lines.
Some clear drinky fluids in the ground.
There's just like this square place over there people can pee in.
There's this boxy thing with wheels that somehow brought me here.
Really fast because it was supposed to take me 3 hours and I arrived in 10 minutes. The Bermuda Triangle of the fucking South Everglades.
Explain that, round earthers.
Yeah.
okay, so I'm looking at the drinky liquid and the green things, and then I see a boat with 3 gentlemen. 2 are on the boat, 1 is not. And I hear, "Excuse me, ma'am, have you ever been here before this day at this time?"
What?
And I said,
What?
"No." And they said, "All right." I said, are you guys okay?" "No, somebody stole our handicap ramp." And I'm like, "Well, is there anything I can do to help?" They say no. So I'm like, well, that's not true. So I walk over.
They lied to me about the water. So
Yeah.
they're gonna lie to me about this too.
That's not true.
That's not true. I can totally help.
You have no idea what I'm here for. I'm here to wrestle an alligator. You have no idea what I can do.
I'm an alligator wrestling gumshoe.
The website said I couldn't come here. Why I did? It has no idea what I can do either.
All right.
They were right this time.
Oh.
Nothing I could do, but I did stand there and look concerned the whole time.
Why would they ask you that?
Just, I will get into the meat of
Okay.
this story.
Well,
I hope so.
the criminal, a lot of times criminals do like to return to the scene of the crime. So maybe they thought that she was coming back to see handicapped people not able to enter their establishment.
That's my life stream. Handicap people's lives of going down a ramp.
I just go around. I still handicap ramp. Started out really young with salt pepper shakers at fast food restaurant. Then it was the ashtrays, the little metal ones. I had to take those too. Now I'm all the way up to handicap ramps.
I look disappointed when they roll up and there's no ramp to go down.
Well, so the situation at hand was this. There was a boat. It was one of those swampy boats, whatever those
Swampy boat.
We can't get to this because it's just so fucking descriptive. It's like the Stephen King of podcasts.
I prefer to think of myself as a Richard Bachman.
Whatever it takes to get to the end of the fucking story.
Is that his name, Richard Bachman?
Sure. All right.
Please, for the love of God, tell me that you do not know what I mean when I say swampy boat. You know exactly what that meant
It's a cruise ship, right?
in your head.
It's a cruise. It's like one of those Carnival cruise ships, right?
Yeah.
And yes, it's a little raft on the side of it says Swampy Boat.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so on the swampy boat, there's a man in a wheelchair. There is a man standing next to him in a white button-up polo shirt. Is that descriptive enough for you? And then there's another man that's on the grass, and so they're not on the ramp. They could be on the ramp, but where they are is backed up to the hill where there's grass. And their plan was to they have a ramp that comes off of the boat and it connects to the ramp that they have on the ground. And then he can just get his wheelchair and he can roll off of both ramps back up onto the ground. So the problem is they don't have both of the ramps. They just have the one that's attached to the boat. So they have the ramp sitting down in the grass and the boat is moving, rocking back and forth. So it already looks like it's some form of extreme sport, this wheelchair ramp jumping that they're about to try. And I said, can I help? Can I help steady his wheelchair while he's coming out? Can I do anything? And they're like, they're not even fucking paying attention to me. I'm just a bystander at that point.
Who is this lady that's never been here before?
Never before at this day, at this time.
At this day, at this time. Have you ever been here on this day at this time before? You should. Oh, before. Oh.
Funny. It's still funny the way. I mean, what did you do? I mean, that face you must have made would have been like, no.
Yep. So then all of these men are minimum 65, all three of them.
Okay.
And they are all yelly. Like they're just
Yelly?
they're all yelling at each other.
Okay.
The guy in the wheelchair is yelling at the guy on the grass because the guy on the grass is like, we need to focus on getting you off this boat. The guy in the wheelchair is like, I want you to call the sheriff. I want somebody to call the sheriff because and the other guy cuts him off. And he's like, what damn good do you think it's going to do to call the sheriff? You're still going to be stuck in a boat. And the guy in the wheelchair is like, I want the sheriff to be called because I want him to check the scrap yards because somebody took my ramp. They're going to take it to the scrap yard. The other guy starts yelling at him again, and he's like, I need you to just be quiet and focus on how we're going to get you out of this boat. And the guy in the wheelchair is like, Leon, I appreciate what you're doing for me here today, but I do not appreciate you raising your voice at me. And I'm standing here like this.
Oh, bug-eyed.
Just looking at them back and forth. And I'm like, why am I still standing here? But also, it would be weirder for me to just turn around and leave at this point because it's the four of us in this together.
You gotta see how it ends.
Yeah.
Together. I mean,
Is there anything I can do? Yes, you can tell our story.
Tell the world. Well, at any point, you could.
It'd be easier to ignore you.
And you know what else I could do, which I should have done, is I should have played Chariots of Fire when the guy got off the boat, because he rolled himself up onto it. It looked fucking hella scary for a second because the boat started moving backwards before he was off of the ramp. I thought he was going to roll right back into the water, and I was almost hoping that he did, so I would have something to do to help.
You know, you could have called the sheriff.
I could have called I could, and I was even like, the detective in me really wanted to help with this situation.
I bet.
But I had a flight to catch, so I couldn't. But he ended up getting onto the grass, and those two seriously just yelled at each other all the way back up to the car. And then the guy that was apparently the owner of the boat looked at me, and he was like, boy, it's a hot one, isn't it? I said, see ya. And I got into my car and left.
Boy, it's a hot one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, how many alligators did you see?
0.
Oh.
Not a single fucking one.
Oh, but you got to see how many iguanas?
A lot of them. At least 20 different ones for sure. Maybe a couple of them were repeats, but I know I saw at least 20 of them.
Did you see a guanillion?
What is that?
That's a lot of iguanas.
A lot of.
Oh, it's a term of measurement for iguanas.
Oh.
Guanillion.
A guanillion.
I didn't see that many of them. I was only there for 3 days.
We actually saw more on the mainland than we did in the Keys. Like there was
a shit ton of them.
Yeah, they were like right on the side of the highway. Huh? What?
Remember when you told me they were rocks?
Yeah. No, those are rocks. All those rocks.
You just seen more out there that they don't have wings anymore.
Oh shit! Yeah, they have a hard time going back and forth now. They have to actually walk down the road. and across the bridges.
Yeah.
Well, we had, apart from that situation, it was a really, really, really great trip. It was so much fucking fun. Going out into the middle, like the middle of the ocean where you were just surrounded by nothing but water and then jumping off the boat.
That
That's
was awesome.
insane. That's
Oh,
fucking
what?
crazy that I swam in the middle of the ocean. Like, obviously, it wasn't that deep where we were because we were just snorkeling. Like, you can't, I mean,
It's a
what?
shallow coral reef is what it was.
Did you see the Meg?
Oh yeah.
No.
The
No,
what?
The Meg.
The Meg.
What's the Meg?
Jason
Megalodon.
Statham stopped it.
Yeah.
What?
With a ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
Wow. No, yeah, I guess that's a good thing that he did that so we could.
Spoiler alert, folks. Sorry, don't go see the Meg. Jason Statham kills him with a ballpoint pen. Or does he?
Oh, we did the snorkeling. We did the deep sea fishing as well. I
The-
didn't get sick. I didn't get sick on the snorkeling trip, but I did get pretty sick on the fishing trip on the boat. It was pretty rough, but I didn't throw up. I almost did. The lady encouraged me to. She said I would feel better if I did, but I didn't, and I felt okay. There was a dog on my lap. There was a boat dog
Yeah.
named
Was it-
Kenny.
Kenny Doggins.
Well, his last name became Doggins. That was created by those two, I think. But
Yeah.
I called him Captain Kenny. Are you looking at something, or are you just blurry as hell?
Oh, I'm probably just blurry.
Now he's not blurry.
Okay.
But I always knew that the water's clear and it's blue, and man, they are not doing Photoshop magic whenever you see pictures of the water down around the Keys. Especially when you get out like away from the shore, it's just incredible. Like we'd stop at some areas and then you'd hear the captain and the crew talking about how deep it was. Sometimes they would purposely tell us, and sometimes it just you kind of overheard of it. Like the water would be like 40, 50 feet deep, and you could see the bottom. You're looking through ripples. It's kind of hard to see it's not like you're making out little fish down there necessarily, but it was just nuts, man, being, that deep and being able to still see the bottom. It's incredible. I need to find out why. Why is the water so clear and so blue? Do we know?
There is a reason, but I don't know it.
Brad's telling some information about it right now. Important update.
Well,
It's because
I don't know if we know that for sure. He's saying, we were talking about the other day, and we're like, well, there are very few waves. Like it's a pretty calm area, so it could just be that there's that the water is not very turbulent, and so it's not kicking up sediment and stuff. But I don't know if that's all there is to it. Because I've been at other places where you can see through the water pretty well, but the water's not. Yeah, but the water's not blue. But seriously, on the Gulf side, like over on the Gulf of Mexico, you can see pretty well into the water, but it ain't blue.
There's just something real special about that water.
That's
down there.
part of it. Is the calm waters.
Calm waters. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's part of it.
Okay, cool. That was right, Brad. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it was really like being in another country where everyone was still American.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've been to Key West. That was my favorite part. This is really because we've been to the Eastern and the Western Caribbean, and I would say out of all those places, Key West is like the best of both worlds because you get to keep your your inalienable rights
Oh yeah,
as much as they're being.
yeah. It was really neat.
If you guys could imagine going to Margaritaville in Key West, what would you picture?
A parrot.
Okay.
Dave's probably been there.
Think about
my
it.
parents go down there a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gay people. They
No,
do
we're
gay
not
pride
talking about.
fest.
We're talking about Margaritaville.
Like picture the place. Like what do you expect? First, where do you think Margaritaville would be? Like in relation to the water.
What's your view from Margaritaville?
Like
Do you know what Margaritaville is? It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
You're going to this restaurant, Margaritaville, in Key West. What do you expect? Like, what do you imagine that experience is going to be like?
like the last Margaritaville I went to.
Oh,
You were just
in Key
so
West,
fun.
I don't know.
In Key West, most likely you're going to see chickens just walking around in the restaurant.
People said that a lot.
yeah. We did finally see some chickens, but
I mean, when we were sitting there eating, we ate at the Hog's Head Barbecue downtown, and it was one of the places. And damn it, there's chickens fucking everywhere, man. I mean, they're just sitting there. I mean, it was I couldn't get used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like they're dogs and cats, and they're just hanging out.
I was really surprised, like the first morning, Tuesday morning, sitting out on the back patio and hearing roosters, and I didn't know anything about chickens being there in Key West, and I'm hearing roosters. I'm like, there is not a farm nearby. Where the fuck are these roosters?
No, I agree. That was the same thing when we woke up on the boat before we left, because we went into port. I think it was at night, so we didn't. Maybe it was early morning, but either way, I was waking up and all these fucking roosters, man. I just could not get over. There were so many, and I was on the boat going, "Where is this farm?" I thought it was like a chicken farm.
Yeah,
Side of the port where they're just breeding chickens and sending them to Tyson via boat. You know, I had no idea. But then when you get into town, I just couldn't get over that.
yeah,
I mean, like, somebody needs to do something about it. Where is KFC when you need it?
yeah, really.
Clean this mess up, Colonel.
Maybe they it is like the whole island is the farm, and they just assume that the tourists are gonna say, "Oh, chicken," and then feed the chickens, and then the farmer has a lot less work to do.
There were so many chickens there that I thought there was a religion I was missing. Like Hindus have cows all over the place or something. Like I would be walking around and there'd be some kind of like chicken church. You know, some kind of Santeria bullshit going on down there. Oh, God, we take care of people. I don't know how Santeria people talk.
Well, I'm gonna give you guys a little hint about Margaritaville. It's not on the water. It's not anywhere near water. I mean, you can't even. I mean, you could walk there, obviously, but you really want to take an Uber to the water from Margaritaville because it's not close to it, and it's like just any other restaurant in the middle of a downtown, think like the old city kind of downtown, like little shops, kind of, everything kind of looks old, and there's a lot of foot traffic, a lot of people on bicycles, that sort of thing. It's just this little. I mean, it's not tiny bar, but it's pretty small, unassuming, and I was expecting to be looking at water while I ate.
Did you guys see Hemingway's home?
No, we're not done talking about Margaritaville.
Oh.
So I don't know why maybe it's unfair for us to have expected that it be on the water, because I think what I was thinking was like the song Margaritaville, the way he sings and what he's singing about, and busting his flip-flop and all that stuff. And you just think, when you hear that song, you just think paradise. You think that he is somewhere where there's hammocks and there's coconut drinks, and it's just the beach and seeing water,
sand everywhere.
And then you go to this Margaritaville, and it's in a strip mall, kind of like it's in a building with other things surrounding it, and the doors open, and you walk in, and nobody talks to you, nobody greets you, they don't want you there. They did not want us there.
No,
they were
didn't.
so rude.
Even the bartender didn't even really acknowledge us.
Right, at all. And then finally, after a couple minutes of standing there, he goes, "Are you guys okay?" we said, do we just seat ourselves? And he hesitated and then said, like, "Yeah, I guess." And somebody came up to us and asked us if we wanted drinks. We didn't see that person again.
They're like, "Sorry, we don't see a lot of tourists in here."
Only the locals hang out here.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I went to the bathroom at this Margaritaville, and it took 3 flights of stairs to get to it, but it was just this one-room restaurant. It was really strange. And it was just dirty. There was no toilet paper. It was like run down. This place was super run down. And I walked downstairs, and I said to them, I was like, Jimmy Buffett would roll over in his hammock. He knew the way that these people were showing off his brand, but then I guess somebody told us that somebody else bought them out.
Yeah, he doesn't actually own it anymore. But he does make cameos every once in a while. He'll pop in for like a little set.
Yeah. So it was highly disappointing,
And,
highly
and
unfortunate.
there was one point when our waitress was dropping off the margaritas, the various margaritas that we had ordered, and she looks at the table next to us, a family that had just sat down, and they're looking at menus, and she goes, "Ugh, they're looking at menus," like where we could clearly hear her. And we had already ordered food. So what is the first thing that crosses your mind? Oh, she said this when we sat down and started looking at menus. Just not happy with us being there.
And we, after we ordered, we were gonna all go outside for a minute and smoke. And I walked up to her because we were all three leaving the table, and I always feel weird about that when you're going outside and you don't mention it. So I walked up to her and I said, "Hey, we're gonna go outside for a quick cigarette. Just didn't want you to think we were leaving." She goes, "Oh, I know you're not leaving. You just ordered drinks." Like she was so fucking psycho. She opened her eyes real big when she said that.
Yeah.
And she was just acting like over the top crazy friendly after acting like,
It was
dead.
passive aggression is what it was. She was being passive aggressive. It's like, "Oh, I know you're not leaving. You just ordered drinks."
Yeah.
Wow.
There's still food.
And there was one other thing that happened that I was alone for, which was when the plane landed in Knoxville. Most of the time when I'm on planes, the way that things work is people are generally pretty polite and they kind of just let the people in front of them go get their bags. You just kind of sit there and wait. This one was completely different, and literally as soon as like you know that when you stop and you feel that kickback, as soon as that happened, there was a line of people from all the way in the back of the plane. This one girl fucking ran to the front.
Wow.
And so they're all standing there for 5-10 minutes because they're still not ready to deplane.
Yeah.
And I heard so many people say deplane yesterday, and I hated it. And I just said it. So this lady is stuck next to me, and I'm sitting in my seat, and she is talking to any fucking person that will listen around her about how she can't wait to get off this damn plane. Why is it that this line is not moving? Look at all these people. Look how rude these people were jumping in front of me. I just want to go. I just want to get off this plane. I'm so ready to be off this plane. Why don't they separate these things so that people with bags are on this side and people without bags are here?
Oh God.
Go and blah blah blah.
Is there not some way where I can be put first?
Exactly. So this dude behind me goes, "What makes you think that you shouldn't have to wait like everybody else?"
Yeah, my man.
Good. I like this. I'm excited for this confrontation. I might even join in.
And then the captain came on and he said, "All right, we are turning this plane around. We're going back to Orlando."
So she turns around and she goes full 100% full final rage bitch mode. And she goes, "My sister is giving birth right now,
God.
and they are prolonging the procedure so I can see it."
What? Well,
And the captain was cool with it, is what she said. That's what she said. The captain was cool with it.
Why do you think we got here so fast?
It was supposed to take 8 hours, and I was there in like 5 seconds. But so, unfortunately, I felt like nobody was the winner in that situation. Yeah. The guy got called out because he assumed that she was just talking to talk, but she still is making herself look like an asshole just by talking and constantly complaining in front of
people know. Don't worry. Everyone around you knew. They didn't want to say anything. They knew that she was a bitch. They know.
Yep. So that was my welcome home. So, we're gonna talk about Elon. We have other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we can probably make it fairly short. He's being sued by the SEC, which is not a surprise to anybody. That is, Dave. Do you know the abbreviation? What it means?
An exchange commission.
Yeah, it's the authority that oversees basically the stock market, and you if you do anything to try to manipulate the stocks. Or do like insider trading or anything nefarious like that, the SEC is who comes after you. And because of Elon's tweet, if you don't remember somehow, he on August 7th said that he was going to take Tesla private and he was going to buy all the public shares back for $420 a share, and that funding was secured. And because that deal fell through, he has. I'm not sure what the charge is actually called, but it's basically he was manipulating the market or manipulating the stocks, because as soon as he said that, the stocks grew like crazy. Like it shot up. Yeah, people were buying because it's like, oh, well, it's at 360 right now. Well, I'll just buy everything I can afford, and I will make money at the end. And
Right.
I did it too. That was right when I got into Stash. Was because of that. So they offered him a settlement, which that settlement deal is not public that I've seen, but it's basically a fine. Part of it was that he would have to be removed as either the chair or the CEO or both of Tesla for 2 years. And at first he was going to take the settlement, and then apparently he decided he didn't want to, and that he was willing to fight, and said that he did nothing. He didn't do anything wrong, and integrity is important to him, and he didn't do anything to mislead or anything. And supposedly he thought he had a verbal agreement with some people in Saudi Arabia, and I guess it wasn't an agreement. And so there you go. So he's being charged, and I guess as of right now he plans on fighting it. He's already hired a lawyer, one of the best. His name is Stephen Best, and yeah, and there's not really much to say because they just filed the charges yesterday, I think, and obviously it makes me nervous. I mean, Tesla's cool, and I really support what Tesla is doing and why, but he's the vision behind SpaceX, and my big fear is the second part of this is that the Department of Justice is also considering bringing charges against the criminal charges against him, which could, I guess, end up in jail time. And I really hope that doesn't happen.
Thing as well
Do what?
for the Department of Justice. This is also because of
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, yeah, and I think that's a little bit of a stretch to call it criminal activity. I don't think is. I think it's disingenuous because my assumption is, and I don't know the guy, but my assumption is he would not have said that if he didn't actually feel that the funding was secured.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they would have to prove that he knew that it wasn't, or, well, I guess the other part is that it could have been negligence, and that is a chargeable offense too.
Right.
Especially being the CEO of a publicly traded company, you have these responsibilities. So, yeah, fingers crossed Elon doesn't go to jail. That'd be.
I don't know. I feel like the tweet said, thinking about doing this. It didn't say, I'm doing this.
But it did say funding secured.
That's
And,
why I'm like that.
and it could be that, he fights it and, it turns out good. I mean, Elon's won lawsuits, I mean, hell, he took, he sued the Air Force for the opportunity to bid on national security launches. And he won that. But he wasn't the one being sued in that case. So, I don't know. It's got me nervous just because of the SpaceX shit. They've got a good leader in Gwen Shotwell. She's fucking awesome. And I think she's got the vision too. In terms of like, she believes in what they're doing. I'm not sure that anybody other than Elon has the ability to come up with new ideas like he does.
Yeah.
He would still be able to do the ideas and stuff from jail.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta have a piece of pen,
They just
paper, and
write it down. They come in.
slide
Thanks.
rule. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure the prison he went to would be one of those real cushy prisons.
Yeah, got tennis courts and stuff.
And he
Yeah.
wouldn't be in there long. I mean, he's got a boring company. They'll get him out.
Yeah. That's why he's making it, just in case.
That's awesome. He knew this was coming.
He's a forward-thinking guy, yo.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. All right, cool. Nothing to worry about.
What to do with me? Huh? I mean, I'm out of this jurisdiction. I already got a car ready, floating in space.
I'm going to Mars. This shit's been done.
Yeah, maybe that's why he wants to go to Mars, get away from
That's a
regulations.
robot driving that big. That's my getaway car, yo.
It's coming back to pick me up, yo. Did you guys ever see Back to the Future 2?
Mm-hmm.
When Michael J. Fox jumped off the building but landed on the top of the DeLorean? Remember that? I got a DeLorean. Or a Tesla or whatever.
You guys are stupid motherfuckers. You ain't even in my orbit.
You so eccentric with your orbits, man.
You didn't count on my extra.
Yeah, I guess we all remember when Martha Stewart went into jail, and then it seemed like no time at all went by, and she was already back out again.
Back
And
out.
Out
She's
on
doing very
TV,
well.
doing
yeah,
great.
doing just fine. Yeah.
Hanging out with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
So that's it on Elon.
Well, the big
All right.
house changed her. So, you had a link you sent.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
you'll want to share it on there. I forgot
yeah,
when
I'll
I
pull it
found
up.
this article, but pretty much came across this new fetish of Lego porn.
What?
Damn. Look at those holes.
Yeah,
Look
at that
at him.
ass.
Look at that booty.
There are so many holes to choose from.
The web is full of brick on
So,
brick action.
People
That's
actually
great.
make Lego video porn. Now I don't know if we can show it on the stream
Please don't.
because I think that they actually put molds of like tits and penises.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
We
is
don't need to
verbal
see
assault.
that.
yeah,
Well,
not visuals.
Right.
But there's a link up to the top. Some of the pictures are okay. I think
Oh.
it's like the second link you click. It'll be the one that says, "Here's the album."
Oh, I don't know. It's not. Oh, wait. There's the big Lego porn album.
Yeah, click that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, people are really into that.
What the hell?
Oh
They get
wow.
great- Yeah, they just place them in different positions and everything here. So, listeners, if you get bored and want to see what this is about, just type in Lego porn.
this
Might
one,
not be disappointed or find out something about yourself.
this little caption on this cartoon. It's the girl is a Lego girl and the guy's just a human guy. She says, "I can't spread my legs, baby, but for $50, I'll give you the best damn hand job you ever had."
Oh my.
Because their hands are the shape of their hands.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
the
God.
dude that did that article, I don't know why he reached out to Lego about that, but
Like they're gonna support it.
yeah, I guess that's what they were kind of going for. Like, are you supporting this? And they just did not give a comment at all. But yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
What kind of bigot company is Lego?
Yeah, for real.
That dragon is fucking a horse.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
there's some
Got some hentai.
Send me
tentacle
that
porn.
picture of the dragon and horse one, please.
Well, there you go. So there's so Lego porn is a thing.
This is great. This is really creative and beautiful.
What?
Whoa. This is not going well for the audio listeners out
They need
there.
to be looking at
Yeah,
it for sure.
you have to be on the stream
Just
to see this.
Judging by our reactions alone, you know that you need to see this.
Yes, we are streaming at mixer.com/verbal assault podcast.
18 and plus. Don't forget to click that link. That
Click
says,
it.
Yeah, you're 18 plus there.
Yeah, you gotta click. Yep, definitely need to be 18 plus. Well, you definitely need to click it anyway. All right, is that enough?
That's enough. We're good there. That was all I had for that story there.
Who do you think was the first person to get turned on by Lego?
Probably the founder of Lego.
Yep.
Or-
Yeah, fantasizing about his creation,
Yeah, he had a secret little room.
just like the guy that created that the companion bot. Right, the girl. Like have you?
Double entendre. I'd like to see some kind of Legos having the sex thing, but on a waffle.
On a waffle.
Oh,
Yes.
damn. God.
Oh, that's brilliant, Dave.
Yeah.
Lego my Lego.
Lego on my Lego.
You
I
can-
was just So what reason did you say that? Like, was it because of ego, or was it because of all the holes in waffles?
Lego waffles.
Lego my ego.
Legos on Legos.
Because I'm thinking like those things with all the holes, looking at all the holes on all the holes. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you turned me on to this. This is really interesting stuff. I can't wait to
There, she already said it. It turns her on.
look
There you
into
go.
it further. Who do you think was the second person?
Nothing like looking at a little face with a nubbin on its head.
Oh yeah, tell me about
you gotta
it.
like that perfect nubbin on the head.
Those hands that don't move.
Right.
They don't need to. They're already in the perfect position.
You know what to expect. Anything more than a handful's too much, right?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Here.
It's a measured amount.
Well, that's awesome. That's definitely one of the things that we should have went further into during our subculture analysis series that we did about juggalos.
This podcast, the podcast is an ongoing effort. Doesn't mean we can't address it again.
Yeah.
That's true, I suppose.
I mean, Lego's been around for a long time.
How long? How long?
They have a.
Since 1956.
You don't know that.
Oh, I think it was before that.
There's no way you know that.
Because they have like
They
a.
were in
Are
mass
you a
production in
Lego file?
1956.
Yeah.
They didn't even have plastic until that.
Yeah, they used something else before then. I watched. It's a show on the toys that made us, and they have a episode on that. They have like their own theme park and shit.
Yeah, Lego. It's in France.
France.
France is
Yeah.
where Lego comes from.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
question my knowledge, but then again, you get burned so much.
Not going to get burned now.
Are you talking about my forehead?
No, what?
My sunburn on my
I
forehead?
didn't. But that is funny.
I'm
though.
just sensitive about it. I'm sorry.
Oh, 1932 in
You
Denmark.
got it.
Yeah, they were. It was a. I think they used wood first or something like that.
Of course they did.
Yeah, they made it out of. That's true. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. They made out of old shoes.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Denmark.
Wooden shoes?
Wooden
Yeah.
shoes.
Oh, old wooden shoes. They still rocking them wooden shoes?
Yeah, I've seen them.
They recycle them, make windmills out of them.
It just really seems like you would slip a lot. Right? Like wood is not very. I guess if.
Dude,
They have it grooved at the
Yeah,
bottom.
it's grooved on the bottom. You can, you can make patterns on wood.
How are you going to do that?
How do they make the shoe?
I don't know.
They
Have you ever
just- they
played
just
with a
found
wooden
it?
chess piece? I mean,
I don't like it.
Maybe they all have like
Felt.
felt on the
Yeah.
bottom of them. Like, what is it that I'm thinking of that's wood that has felt on the bottom of it?
chess
Chess
pieces,
pieces do.
furniture,
Yeah.
Okay.
salt and pepper shakers.
Just all kinds of things, clearly.
Yeah. Honey bears.
Honey,
Honey
bears.
Yeah. Little cows, salt and pepper shakers.
Oh.
I've got those on those.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I was digging through some old pictures. I forgot that I had them. I have this big, like, accordion file holder thing of old pictures and stuff from my childhood. And I found this piece of paper that at the top says, Bekah Penland, you are special. And in the 6th grade, I was 10 years old. Everybody else was a year ahead of me because I started kindergarten early. I was 10 years old. And this thing it was a piece of paper. You write your name at the top. And everybody in the class does this. And then everybody passes their paper to the next desk closest to them. Mm-hmm. And that person writes their name and then writes one nice thing about you. So by the end of it, you've got 20 nice things about you on this piece of paper that the other kids have written in the class. And I don't have to explain, I was not well liked in school. I didn't have friends, very many of them at least. I was a really strange kid. I was the kid that would pinch my arm to fake a bee sting so I could go in from recess because I didn't want to be out there.
Wow.
Mm.
I wouldn't
I
have
would-
liked you either.
Yeah, join the club. So for the majority of this is literally just one word, nice. Nice. That's all they could say about me. But there are a couple of really good ones on here, such as you try hard.
Ah.
Okay. Honest at some things.
Honest at some things.
Responsible. How responsible can you be at 10?
Right?
Why would that be a compliment that somebody gives you at 10? From another 10-year-old. You're responsible. I wasn't.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
You are a good reader.
Oh, man.
You are.
One of the worst things I think would be to have a class full of kids that don't like you, like force them to say something nice, and the truth is right there in front of you. The one word responses. And did you look at anybody else's? Like, did they have like sentences like, "Oh yeah, this one time in PE we had such a great time. Oh, it was so much fun. Oh, somebody was throwing the dodgeball at me, and he ran up and he caught it. And instead of me being out, they were out. Oh, what a guy!" Nice.
Well, I don't remember. Yeah, nice. Reliable.
Liable.
She's always here. Yeah, it's like, she's always fucking here. You can always rely on Bekah to be there.
And reading.
Making the rest of us look bad. Thanks.
I just wanted you all to know that I was just as popular then as I am now. So I have a game that has nothing to do with what I just spoke about.
Okay.
I just wanted to do that before I forgot.
All right.
I wanted everybody to know that I was a really good reader.
Mm-hmm.
6th grade. So we're going to play Never Have I Ever. But it's not going to be like the stupid 13-year-old kids like, "I've never kissed a boy." And I have to, if you have done it, you have to raise your hand, and then I get to make fun of all 3 of you for kissing boys at some point in your life.
Okay.
This is more of just general questions, and I'm hoping that we can get some good stories out of it. So everybody knows how this game works. It's very simple. There's no real right or wrongs here. There's no real rules. Just answer honestly. That's the only rule. You have to be honest. You don't have to share a story if it's bad, but you should be honest. Okay?
Okay. Well, if there's one thing I know about Bekah Penland, is she is honest.
Honest. Just one
At
word.
some
You should have
things.
just-
At some things. Right.
honest at some things. That's what his fucking sense.
That's what I said.
Honest at some things.
I wonder what the other things were that you weren't honest
That's right,
at.
you were.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I had beef with this
Did you
chick or
kick
something.
me? No. Are you kicking my desk?
I clearly
No.
did. Her name is Kayla.
I'd say it's time for some Facebook work there.
To find, oh yeah, I should look up all these
Yeah.
fuckers.
You're like,
and
"Caitlin, you remember that comment
and I'm
you
a
wrote
good
to
reader,
me?"
so I'm gonna read all their shit.
That's right.
All right, so we're gonna do an easy one first here. Never have I ever, and if you've done this, you have to say if you did. Never have I ever had to run to save my life. Have you ever had to run to save your life? This can be
I
dramatic.
can think I did, but I don't know for sure.
Can you run it by us and we can decide?
But it's really stupid because where I ran was not smart.
Okay. Well, then you should definitely run this by us so we can decide.
Well, we was rafting down the Hiawassee River, and it came a bit tumultuous. It came a storm, and it was thundering and lightning.
Mhm.
So we were on the raft, and you're going down the water, and there's no standing still when you're going down the rapids, and it's starting to storm, and you go, well, do I stay in the water on the raft and get struck by lightning, or do we stand underneath tall trees and get struck by lightning?
Both great choices.
Yeah.
Both great choices.
Yeah.
And either way,
So Dave decided if he just takes off running, the lightning will never catch him.
well, no, what you have to do is you have to run away from the raft towards the shore and then run back to the
Yeah.
raft so that you trick the lightning.
It starts like building up the static electricity, and it's about to strike, and it's like, where the fuck did he go?
That's right. It's like, I'm gonna get you now. What? He pulled the mosquito trick. That dirty bastard human.
And then it's like, he's like lightning. He's like me. He's as fast as me.
He was listening for me to buzz.
He turned the car off.
So ridiculous.
So,
Did you really run back and forth?
I was scared. So, but we ran to the shore. I don't think either choice was good. And hey, if you guys listeners know what I should have done, if this kind of survival situation, you should call us. You should let us know at 865-316-6955.
That made me so What is going on? We are nothing without our backbone, Nathan.
I know.
We got phone numbers all over the fucking place in here.
It's Bizarro podcast.
Without the spine, we're just a bunch of slimy invertebrates.
What was I gonna say? Oh, wait, yeah. What do you do if the tallest things around are you and a tree?
Right?
You just be
I
shorter.
guess you just lay down.
Dig a hole.
Dig a hole.
Dig a hole.
Start digging.
Just climb the tree and say, fuck it.
Cut the no, don't cut the tree down. All right, so you're Hiawassee. You were telling me about the Hiawassee.
That was it. I just told you.
When I was a freshman in high school, I wanted to go to that college, Hiawassee. I went to my first ever job.
It's not on a river.
The college is not in a raft.
No.
Oh, well, shit. I didn't go.
It's different. It's a different place.
Maybe it got struck by lightning. It's not there anymore. Okay.
That's kind of what happened.
So I was at my very first job interview at Chick-fil-A, and the guy that was interviewing me, his name was Todd. And he asked me, as a 14-year-old child, he said,
You think T.O. Double looks good?
Nope, it wasn't that. He did one time tell me I smelled like Cheez-Its, but that's the closest we got to that.
All right.
So he asked me, where do you want to go to college? And I'm a freshman in high school. I'm trying to be cool. I was trying to find my place in the world. So I already had a couple of choices for colleges, and Hiawassee was one of them. So I said, I'm thinking Hiawassee or Lee University. And he heard Hiawasseer because I said Hiawassee or Lee University.
Oh.
So he put those two together and he goes, where's Hiawasseer? And I was like, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
Wow.
Anyway, so has anybody else had to run for their life to save their life?
Well, I was in a car.
Then no, you haven't. This is legit running.
Legit running.
On
Okay.
your feet.
I've got one to run by you for
What you did there.
a very short period of time, like 4 days. I delivered newspapers when I was like 12 or 13, living in Montana, and I had to do it on foot. There was this one house that had it's an American Eskimo dog. The real little dog, real poofy white dog, right? Little yip 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 dog. But I've grew up around animals all my life. Was never afraid of a dog, even if it was somewhat aggressive. There's a stance you can take, and Mom always taught us this kind of shit, how to be around dogs. And so I was walking up to this house, up to the door, and placed the newspaper on the stoop, and this dog was not fucking around. And yep, 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 and it starts chasing after me. It actually jumped up and nipped me on the arm, and so I took off running because I knew that it was on a leash. How long is this leash, and how fast can I run? The leash was about 40 feet long, and I got just outside of trees, and it yoink! And I felt like I was running for my life, but I have a feeling that I probably wasn't.
I ran from a dog. It did bite me. A Rottweiler when I was 13. I was walking to the horse farm down the road from my house, and there was a Rottweiler that was always hanging out on this one particular corner. And this day, I guess he decided he was hungry for some ass. So he followed me, and I ran, and he bit me right on the ass.
Wow.
Wow.
Mine just bit, or this dog just. I was wearing a jacket, so it just bit my jacket, my puffy Montana jacket.
Story.
All right.
I wouldn't say I was running for my life, and well, it was self-inflicted. Well, me and my roommates, had an older house, and out back was like a storm or a bomb shelter. It was really kind of cool. I mean, we couldn't really go in there because it wasn't. We always meant to clean it up, kind of thing, and party in there, but that was never going to happen. But it had developed a ridiculously large hornet's nest. You know, one of the round ones. Is that a hornet or a bee? You know, it's
that like doesn't have the little holes all in it, but it's just like one big.
yeah.
That's a beehive, I think, or maybe I'm sure there's multiple species that do that.
Well, it hung from the ceiling, and it kind of went down about mid to below lower door, so it was really huge. And we just didn't really think about the consequences. And I mean, of course, it was early, a Sunday morning, so we were probably either still drunk or just about to start drinking again. And we decided that it would be a good idea to grab long objects and throw them and whack that nest and then run back into the house. And you know, the first couple of times it was pretty easy because, you know, they don't really know what's going on. They're all like, hey, where's the queen? She all right?
Yeah.
And then, but along about the third time you do that, they're on to you. They're pretty good. They got the scent down, and you know, they'd get you a stone. But yeah, we would take turns going out, hit it with a bat or hit it with a tennis racket, and then
that's short range.
Yeah, and then I think,
Damn.
and we were trying to knock it down each time we hit it, and then we threw a rake at it, and the rake kind of just stuck to it.
Oh wow!
And it just kind of ripped down the side of it, and they all kind of swarmed out. We were kind of
Should have done the Steve-O special. Out and back.
Out and back.
Yeah.
That's right. I didn't even. That's right. I probably should have just ran and tricked them. It works for lightning. It'd have got to work for bees.
That's right. I did. It was not as exciting, but me and my dad were in the woods one day. We were actually archery hunting, so we had our bows with us and saw a big beehive off in the distance, and it was a good 100 feet away probably. And up in a tree, and we were like, hey, let's have some target practice. We had some throwaway arrows that we always just kept with us, and we just start shooting at it. And Dad actually hit it, and we knew that he hit it, so we just immediately just turned around and started running. And you know, that's pretty much the end right there, because we were already so far away, and then we just started running. Who knows? I'm sure they didn't figure out how this projectile just ripped through their hive, and they probably weren't even chasing us, but we ran for our lives. So that might have counted.
I think it counts.
Yeah.
You guys agree? Okay, it counts.
Yeah, counts.
We're gonna move on to a new question because we've gotten through. I have 30. We've gone through one. So I think
it's gonna be a long one.
We got time for one more.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
wow, yeah.
This one actually probably will be short. I hope, because it's more
Straightforward.
It's like a midget question.
Yeah, it's more little. So, never have I ever had a surprise party thrown for me. What do you guys think? My thinking on this is, how could you possibly be surprised by a party? That's my thinking. Because if it's your birthday, you know it's your fucking birthday. What other reason is there for a surprise party?
And how come all of a sudden you can't get a hold of anybody?
Right. How come you tried to make plans with all your friends and everybody was busy on this?
But except for this one friend that was dying to hang out with you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Nobody else wants to hang out. Oh, well, we'll still have fun. Oh, why are all these cars parked outside my place? Oh, it probably has nothing to do with me. I don't.
So have you ever been surprised by a party?
No.
I don't think so.
Yes, but it wasn't a party for me.
Okay, so you just like snuck into someone else's.
Not really. Here goes the story. I don't know. Was back in high school, and worked on. It was in speech and play production. And it was one of the nights that we were actually putting on a play, and I was going to stop by McDonald's, and where I grew up in this town. Here you say I'm going to go to McDonald's. You go, which one? Back then, there was only one, and the McDonald's was down from my school, so I was really close to where I was going to go for the play. And I walked in to this McDonald's, and unbeknownst to me, my parents were attending a party at McDonald's, a McDonald's birthday party for one of their friends. I don't know, maybe it was their 50th birthday or
At
some
McDonald's?
It wasn't a kid.
No.
Were they in the play place?
No, that I don't even think all McDonald's had a play place back then.
Oh.
But McDonald's was the place. I mean, now you go, oh, we go Chuck E. Cheese's now. I mean, it was McDonald's. I mean, if you wanted to have a birthday, but
Yeah, because that's where people go now. People go to Chuck E. Cheese.
my parents were attending a birthday party for friends at McDonald's, and I walked into it in high school, so embarrassed,
And you were surprised.
and they made a big deal about it.
Were they glad to see you there, or?
Opportunity to embarrass me. Why not?
Oh,
High school. I mean, obviously and y'all haven't met my parents, but
I have. I
Yeah,
certainly.
yeah,
true.
I have.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've met him.
I mean, it's all about the opportunity to embarrass. But yeah, they made a big
They
deal
are
about it.
nice people.
Yeah, how dare you?
You know, they listen to the podcast. That's what you're saying.
Because they are nice.
They still
people.
embarrass me, and they would laugh at this story.
Dave, their intention was for their son to shine.
That's right.
They were not trying to embarrass you. They were trying to.
Trying to give you an opportunity to show the world what you got.
Yeah, well, I just walked into McDonald's wanting to get food before the play, and
And they were proud of you for that.
That you were such an independent young man.
well, that's my story.
Well, no.
I don't want them.
Have you ever been surprised at a party?
Just in general, like, has anything ever surprised you while at a party? Is that what you're asking?
Oh yeah, I've definitely been surprised at parties. That's countless. I mean, that is so much a non-starter. It's a starter.
Yeah, I've been surprised in almost every setting that
Yeah,
you can.
I'm looking back and going, yeah, man.
All the good parties have surprises.
Right? I mean, even the boring parties had a story of, man, it was so boring.
Like nobody came.
So I guess, yeah.
Okay, Patrick, you got nothing for this one?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's fine. I knew that I just wanted to talk about how surprise parties are bullshit. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Fuck surprise. I have had to explain to a few people throughout life, like, I don't like surprises, really. Don't do a surprise party. Like, don't.
And then they did.
No, I don't think anybody ever has. It's one of those things, like, it might be a personality quirk or something. It's like, if a surprise party was thrown for me, I would intellectually know that I need to act a certain way to satisfy an itch that they all had, but I really didn't want this, and now it's all eyes on me, and I need to perform, and I have to perform, otherwise it's rude, or I'll be like, why? No, guys, if you wanted to get together, you should have told me, and then that puts a damper, and so you have to, there's obligations for the surprisee, and I'd just rather not have them. I'd rather just know that people want to get together, and I purposely never mention my birthday so that people don't know when it is, and I don't want anything. But if someone insists that we do something, I would rather at least know about it. There you
Yeah. Then you're thrown into a situation where you're just obligated to, like you said, just to make everybody else feel good
Yeah,
about
it's
what
surprise
they're doing.
etiquette.
go. Yeah.
I
But you didn't even have a chance to warm up. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden, surprise! You're like, "Fuck, I'm
Everyone-
on." Yeah, I'm on right now. I'm on. Spotlight, go.
You said you've never had one. You said
I don't
it's
think
never.
so. I don't
What
think
if you loved it? What if it happened and you fucking loved it? You might be surprised by your own surprise party.
I mean, I might end up having a great time at the party, but that moment of walking in and finding out surprise, and then like probably the first thing that crossed my mind is, do I know everybody's name?
So basically, what you're saying is, if we ever were to throw you a surprise party, we've kind of got to do it over a couple of rooms. So we walk in to the house and you go, "Oh, I didn't expect to see, it'd be a couple there or something. Oh, you're here. Yeah, we remembered it's your birthday. It's okay." And so you kind of go in the living room. Oh, there's another couple people there. Surprise. Hey, it's us. We're here. So kind of as you walk through the house, by the time it's all over, you get 40 guests. Still.
I like I like the idea of like you come home and you sit down on your couch and everything is completely normal, and then just one by one people start exiting your bedroom into the living room, or like exiting like other rooms, like there's somebody in a closet somewhere and they just walk in like, "Hey, how's it going?"
It's just kind of dipping your toe in the surprise party.
And some people have to stay hidden under the bed for like a couple hours so that it's not too much at one time.
Everybody has to synchronize their watches.
Yeah.
So they're staggered by 1 minute. So they're all watching. Okay, when's my time?
Yeah.
You're at 10:12. 10:12.
You are now accepting Zone 6.
That's right. Red leader, it's a go. Foxtrot.
Oh man.
All right. So, has anybody ever been on TV or the radio? We're not including the podcast. That's some form of radio. But have you ever been on TV or the radio?
Yes.
Yes.
To both.
To both.
Okay, let's go with Patrick first because he's
Um,
the least so far.
Mine is where I've done skits with Knox by Night. We are on the public access channel, so that gets played on TV every week.
Oh,
It's
okay.
pretty cool. I even have an IMDb page, but I haven't done anything with it.
What?
Yeah. And then radio was for Knox by Night as well. We had a radio thing for a couple months as well.
That's very cool.
I'm gonna find your IMDb page and share it on Facebook.
I haven't put the picture on it or anything like that.
I'll take care of
We'll
that.
take care of that.
thanks.
We'll
We'll
take
take
care of
this up
that.
for you. Don't worry.
Take care of
Yeah.
it for you.
I'm really glad you told us. You can actually do it. You can add stuff to. You can add pictures and shit.
Is it like Wikipedia?
IMDb?
Yeah, like where anybody can add stuff to it.
I know Jason made it for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alligators and overalls.
Yeah.
That's what we just spam you with pictures.
So
of
I haven't
alligators and
messed with it since he made it. But
Well, it'll be a surprise
yeah,
what they add.
I'll keep a lookout for it.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're really getting out into the world.
Yeah.
Dave?
On TV, it would have been the I don't remember the name of the show. I want to say it was like, I don't think it was the Howdy Doody show
Oh, come on.
or something like that. But I went, actually, like with the Girl Scouts or something. My mom was taking my sister with a group, and I had to go because, well, I had to go. It was like part of the child care kind of thing. And I remember being on the show, and I can remember standing there and looking, but I don't remember much about that. And then the other was when I was on the radio a couple times. I've done a commercial for a bank. And
Like as a customer?
yep. And did the whole layout and the recording and all that stuff. And then
Do you have any lines? Do you have to say anything?
I love banking here.
I have the CD somewhere. I have the CD somewhere. But the other was we were driving at work one day when we were installing alarms, and WIVK had said, "Hey, call into the show if you know the words to Delta Dawn and sing it, and we'll give you, I don't know, tickets to Bull Masters or some nonsense." And I called in and I sung Delta Dawn on the radio.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. You sing that at work all the time.
I do. I don't know. I know the words.
Fond memory you have of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Steve-O?
Yeah, I was actually going to try to find the commercial that I was on.
Oh, brother.
I was in the video for Yngwie Malmsteen.
Who?
Yngwie Malmsteen.
Okay.
We were at high school, and they came to town to shoot a video in Knoxville, and it was free admission. And Johnny skipped school.
And then told you about it?
Yeah, told me about it. And we went up to Knoxville and stood out in line, and we ended up getting on the edge of the stage. And we recorded the video, and we were so stoked about it, and it came out on Headbangers Ball.
Sweet.
Hold the fuck.
Wow.
Headbangers Ball.
Are
man.
you telling me that there is video proof of you and Johnny together?
Well, there's a crowd of people. You wouldn't be able to see.
I need to see this picture.
And we we recorded the video, and then when it came out on Headbangers Ball, we were so disappointed.
Oh.
Because, we were sitting there rocking on the stage, and they're singing, and the music is coming through, and I want to say, I don't remember, but they may have actually been performing and not lip syncing, limited equipment.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool. We were all just sitting there rocking out to this song at the stage, but when it came out, it's all chopped up and photoshopped, and stuff's exploding on the stage that never happened. And, and then the guy's jumping off the drums, you go, that never happened. He didn't jump that way. And we just kind of left kind of looking at the video going, it's kind of meh, so. But I don't remember what the name of the song was. I actually asked my buddy recently because I was trying to Google it. And you can see my long hair, but only for a second. And I'm on the edge of the stage, and maybe a couple of times. And let me see. I'll tell you the name of the song. But we can move on. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. Have you guys ever had somebody slap you across the face?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
No.
Really?
I think.
I would imagine that you would have. I don't know why. Probably because of all the shitty shit you used to do. Pissing in people's milk and shit.
Oh, God.
That
You
one-
deserve it.
Slap, but
A dick slap. So, Patrick's never been slapped in the face. Cool. Good
Nope.
for you.
Yeah.
Steve-O, who slapped you?
Well, I'm trying to think. I don't even remember the circumstances. Like it was an ex. I honestly, I can't remember. Like, we had been together for a long time, and it's like I really liked her, but there was a lot of these things I didn't like, and then she was doing something, and I said something to really jam something home, and then she just pow, and that was it.
How did it make you feel to get slapped in the face?
It changes everything.
It changes everything.
Like about that relationship. Like it's like, oh, okay, no, we're not going to do that. That's not cool. Like
So
if it pretty much goes with like any friend, or even if you're not my friend, if an argument ever turns physical, that's it. We don't see things the same way. Like nothing can't be solved with words. So, it's never my instinct to go physical, and I would not, like if it goes physical, then we're not friends.
Definitive.
Yeah.
Dave, who slapped you?
A girlfriend who wanted to get back with me, and maybe I was less than sensitive, and annoyed at the process, and I was over it. And she slapped me across my face for
Not taking her back.
that, and just not believing what she was saying. And
Oh.
so I guess out of frustration, she just slapped me. It wasn't, I mean, I said some pretty hurtful thing, but I mean, she asked you to come over to the house. We're done. You want to be with somebody else? That's cool. It's all right. No, I don't. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. I mean, it's okay. That's all right. No. You're misreading the signs. No, it's okay. No. Got this taste in my mouth. I'm done. So, and I don't remember the name of the artist, but I had to sit there while she had queued up this mixtape
Oh, wow.
of what's it? Is it Dan Rivers or I don't remember.
Joan Rivers.
No, it's
Who-
a Dan is guy's
Hootie
name.
and the Blowfish.
No.
I want to hold your hand.
Savage Garden.
Steely Dan.
No.
Elton John.
No.
It's a possibility.
Dan Savage.
No.
It's savage.
I don't think. I don't know.
Savage love.
But it was all this guy, Dan Smith, or I don't remember what it. I mean, I recognized the songs if I heard them, but she would play the song and then she would tell me why she played the song and how that meant
The whole
Uh,
song?
the whole fucking song, dude. And we sat out there on her carport while I listened
You
to this.
sat through the whole thing.
Well, I was trying to be nice. I mean, I was convinced she was, she was the Queen of Whoreland, but,
Damn.
but I was trying to be nice.
Wait, hold on, Dave. Where is this Whoreland exactly? Do you happen to like
It's just
coordinates or?
Yeah, it's just if you travel on 75, it's just south of your what was it? Come Deposit or something like that.
Town.
I don't know.
Come
I don't know.
Cock holster?
She would do all
That
this,
was
and then she said, she goes, so now that you've listened to this, you see how important it is that we're back together. And I went, we're back together.
Oh God!
And she said, yeah. I mean, you came over here to listen to all this, and this was, my plea, and so for us to be back together. And I went, no, I thought I was coming over here because you were going to say something to convince me that we were going to get back together, and nothing's happened. And she goes, you don't feel the emotional pull.
of this song that she did not make.
Yeah, that she didn't create.
The only emotional pull I feel is to leave the driveway. And she went whack
Oh,
my face, and I said, so does that mean we're done here? And that was that. It ended that way.
Damn.
She came to my wedding.
Wow.
Please tell me you played that song at the wedding.
oh yes.
Oh, the whole mixtape. That would have been
Yeah.
so great.
It was mine and Rochelle's dance song.
That's beautiful.
Really, just and once we were dancing and we
Yeah.
kind of I went around town. That is true though. She was there, and that if I remember rightly, that was a bone of contention, but not a big one.
Bone of contention in Whoretown.
Mm-hmm.
Come Town, Come Deposit.
Bone of contention. Do I hear an episode title in that?
Oh, there's been a lot of good
Yeah,
in
it's
Whoretown. All right, so as the host, who is the person to wrap up the show and then ask Bekah to do the poem?
Could you fucking stop stepping on my toes over there? I have a plan.
Do you have a plan? Because when you sat down, you went, "Who's the host?" I mean, was that your plan to sit down and look like you didn't have a plan?
Yes, so I could. You fucking blew my.
It was a surprise.
fuck. I had.
I
Oh,
was trying to jump away from the subject and then come back to distract you.
well, I'm starting to feel like it's about that time.
Are you?
Oh,
I'm feeling like it's about that time.
Yeah.
But that has more to do with my bladder than it does the show.
Well, welcome to Bekah's Poetry Corner. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I touched.
oh!
it.
It just got
Have you
physical.
ever been slapped?
Yes,
Just now.
just now, this very night on this podcast.
Oh, just so we're clear, I've never slapped anyone and I've never been slapped. Okay, so this poem, I debated on the name for a while, so I'm just gonna put the two together, and it's gonna make one super name of this poem.
A new persame.
Wait, what?
New persame.
A super name, a new
A
persame.
new persame. This one's called Jurisdiction Chicken Church.
Quit picking at your head.
I can't. Oh, I bet it looks so bad. My head is peeling. Okay. Sunburn. Jurisdiction Chicken Church. Find it on the map, right off to the west, clear and calm. You can tell the shape, a farm nearby. Chances are it's run by tumultuous opportunity, a survival situation, on foot. Do not dig a hole. Take an aggressive stance. You have obligations to perform. So as the host, I will tell you when snapping can stop. Thank you, everybody. It's been a great podcast. Thank you, Haywood Banks, for the use of your song, Other People's Bad Habits, as our theme song. You can stop snapping now.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right,
all right.
thanks.
If anybody else has
Snap
some people to
cramping.
thank, you should do that now.
I would. I'd like to thank the Campbell Soup Company for feeding me most of my youth. And
Cream of mushroom soup is the shit.
yeah, and I'd also like the inventors of the mechanically separated chicken machine. That was very nice. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Marshall Mathers for being a great artist, and really changing the game.
Okay.
You are not alone in that.
I would like to thank Apple for letting us stream this podcast on their podcast app, where you can leave a review.
If you want.
If you like, it really helps, guys.
Yes.
Apparently, that's how things get higher up in the search fields.
And I mean, we say if you want, but that's really not how we feel about that. I mean, we'd rather beat your ass over the head to get the 5-star review, and don't make us do that,
Yes.
please.
And I'd like to thank Google for providing our voicemail that you can call and leave a voicemail on and contribute to the show. We'll play it on the air and we'll comment on it if it is warranted. That phone number is 865-316-6955.
865-316-6955.
All right. I would like to thank Patrick for getting up before Dave says deuces so that he can hit stop on the recording
So you give
right
me enough time to get over
after
to it,
Dave
so
says
that when he says that way
deuces.
it's better time, and you go deuces.